I'm not someone who's going to talk a lot about that, but I will tell you my relationship with him was very different. Then Christine and his I never knew. Till later on that they were really struggling, but he and I never had any problem in that area. We were both very physically yeah, we were great. I'm going to be very honest with you. When you lay down with somebody, right? And it's just completely just two people. It's as raw as it can be. It's the connection. It's the emotional connection. The physical connection and the spiritual connection that happens, yeah. You know you have it with her. Music. Hey friends, it's Kody from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Friday, April 19th, 2024, and I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I did a video yesterday where I shared with you a clip from TLC UK's version of the Tell All for Sister Wives, and in that video a lot of you that are from Europe. I had no idea so many of you from Europe. The UK, Australia, wherever you are, outside of the United States, watch the show through the UK version of TLC, so I had no idea that you guys were seeing things that we weren't seeing now. Obviously what I shared wasn't groundbreaking, but it was literally the first time I heard Robin make an admission where she acknowledged that she knew something where she had previously in the edited versions that we saw had been denying it. We all knew that Robin was the favorite wife, and we all knew that Robin knew that she was the favorite wife, but Robin never admits it, and I found some more clips from TLC UK, and this is actually from the same Tell All, and it has to do with Kody and Janelle's relationship and Kody diving into really why he doesn't trust Janelle. But what is interesting is that in the United States version of Sister Wives, they literally never talk about their sex life. They never go into the intimate components of their marriages, and they always say that it's off limits, and TLC literally never mentions this at all on the show. And it has nothing to do with censoring or censorship or content, because other shows on TLC and the same time period are highly charged in this area and do not shy away from talking about it. It's just that the Browns on TLC in the United States, they always sanitize it down and make it seem like it's not about sex, because the agenda of the show was to make it seem like polygamy was not about men just acquiring women for the purposes of sex, and in the United States that is the overwhelming stigma when it comes to Mormon fundamentalism, when it comes to polygamy. And when the show started, there were multiple arrests of polygamist men. You had Warren Jeffs, who was a fundamentalist Mormon, and then you had Tony Alamo, who was a Christian, that both were arrested in the mid-2000s. Tony's arrest came in 2008. Warren Jeff was on May of his trials were going on in the very early seasons of Sister Wives. And these polygamists did not want to be associated with child brides. They wanted to make it seem like it's not about that. It's not about having intimate relations. It's about love. So the US version, we never hear them talk about sex. So when Suki is actually probing him and Janelle about their sex lives, I was like, whoa, we've never even heard Kody say the word sex, really. And Kody also admits really the reason why he doesn't like Janelle and Christine being friends. In all language that's far more direct than what we get in our version of the show. And I was thinking about this because I got an email from someone that apparently I think is in the UK, and they really wanted me to share that I'm missing something and I haven't analyzed something correctly, so I just want to read you the email off from Paula, and she expose, you know what I'm saying, she's joined Christine in sort of this exposure. They're just as guilty. The truth finally comes out. The reason why he is so mad at Christine and Janelle isn't about the trash talking, isn't about the saying things about him that are unfavorable. It's that he did things to them that were deal breakers in their marriages, meaning he committed offenses against them that were so significant that these women would have left him had they not been in a committed relationship and agreed to forgive him. Because they were in a committed relationship, meaning for years and years. And years Kody was able to get away with really bad behavior, and they would just forgive him, and now that they have finally left him and they don't want to put up with his crap anymore, they're telling the truth about what they experienced while they were with him. And he's calling that being exposed in the truth they might have just agreed at the time to forgive him. Because either they felt like they needed to just do it to keep things calm. In their lives they may have felt like they had no other recourse, they could have felt like if they didn't forgive him, they would be stuck with kids to raise, and they didn't have any resources, things that could have happened prior to the show when they all were like living basically hand to mouth and didn't have money. The women weren't in a position to really forgive and move on and dump him. They were also very much more sheltered and indoctrinated. So he's admitting, I did things to these women that were unforgivable, but they forgive me because we were in a committed relationship, which I agree. There are things that happen in marriages that sometimes spouses will forgive one another for. That would generally be deal one breakers, but not often. I don't know a lot of my friends personally that will let go of things if a husband does. Sewing that is so atrocious, that's a deal breaker, and a lot of times deal breakers are significant infractions. It's not minor at all. A significant deal breaker could be stealing money, cheating, it could be lying, it could be hurting someone, it could be physical violence, it could be neglect, it could a variety of things, it could be all kinds of abuse. And now he's mad that they are connected because he believes that they're going to expose him, and then he has to flip it and say, well, they're not innocent either, which is disgusting. So he's basically admitting that he did things that were essentially should have been unforgivable, and that there are things he's done into them that will be exposed, and that's ultimately why he can't trust them, because that's why he doesn't want them together, because he knows that they can ruin him. And nothing scares him more than poverty and his image being destroyed. I mean, it goes both ways here, but you're saying the role that she wants you to play, or she's comfortable with, you don't want to play anymore. I will, which is one of the boy toy that you can't be your real, authentic self, the humanity part of you. I want to be able to be vulnerable a little bit, and I don't want to have to sit here and sort of constantly have to maintain this stoic disposition about how I'm the head of the family and stuff like that, because it's a balance in the respect. Hasn't been there for that. So basically, he is saying that because she has been disobedient and not allowing him to boss her around and tell her what to do, and because she defiantly makes her own choices and is independent and doesn't let him steamroll her and dictate how she manages her life, and because she won't submit to his ridiculous demands and settle for scraps, then he won't he doesn't trust her, and he doesn't have respect for her because she's not respecting him, controlling her. Did you get that? She's not respecting him as the patriarch, and as long as she's not respecting him as the patriarch, then he doesn't want to be with her, which is ridiculous because he wants to be with her. He does, by the way. She doesn't want to be with him, and she dumped him because she doesn't want to put up with his bull crap. He wants her to be able to just sit down, shut up, take it, and then what you need to get back to kind of patch those things back together. Sure. Yeah, then why don't you allow each other into each other's beds and make up? Ask her. I don't know the answer to that after hearing all of the drama between Janelle and Kody about their relationship and all of the tension and the issues they were having in their relationship. Suki's response is to encourage Kody to go have sex with Janelle and get in bed with her and make up, like go have makeup sex, go get in your spiritual connection, go do it, as though getting it on is going to change the fact that he has been neglecting her for years and giving preferential treatment to Robin and neglecting her kids and stealing from her financially, and all of the things, being argumentative, hostile dictator that was telling her that she needed to be loyal, just trying to push her around and make her punch her down basically into submission. Were her words. I think she said he wanted to tap her into submission, and she just wasn't going to do that. Suki is, I think, the kind of woman that takes the guy side all the time, but the fact that she is probing him is like, why don't you just get into bed with her? And he's just like, yeah, I don't know. And then he goes further. There's going to have to be there would need to be trust reestablished. So you're saying without trust, you can't have intimacy, you can have sex without trust, you can't have really intimacy without trust. There's no doubt that through a lot of communication and patience in forgiving that we can build trust again. Oh yeah. But that's what it had to be, is it have to be trust. And right now there's no doubt in my mind that she trusts Christine more than she trusts me. I love how Kody says that you have to have trust in order to have intimacy, when it's pretty clear that he hasn't trusted any of these women for years, and it's also very clear that he doesn't really trust anyone, period. And I don't know that any of them have ever really trusted each other. But what I also find strange is that she's trying to push Kody into bed with a woman that doesn't want to have sex with him, like Janelle is the one that ended the relationship. Janelle's the one that said that she wanted to be separated from him because of his behavior, and Suki's response is, we'll fix it by getting in the bedroom with him, since you guys have such a great sex life. If sex was the answer to fix the problems, every problem would be fixed by sex. It doesn't fix anything. And then Kody's like, yes, we would have to communicate, and we'd have to build trust. And she doesn't trust me, and of course, she doesn't trust him because he's stolen money from her. He has proven that he will lie, deceive, and discredit her, that he will pick other children over hers, that he will leave her without a home and give all of the money to his one wife, Robin. Like, it's wild to me that she would even push this, and then for him to even entertain it is even stranger. But regardless, I don't believe that Kody needs trust to have sex, cause Kody probably has sex with a lot of women, not just the women on that he claims to be married to or purports to be married to. He continues. So here's the thing, when you're in a loving marriage, you'll do things in the marriage that could be considered deal breakers, and then you'll look at each other and I'm sorry and I love you, and you'll make up and you'll move on the minute you break up. So Christine says, I'm out, I'm leaving. Then now anything in the past that might have been forgiven is something now that you said. You're doing an incredible job at analyzing the ins and outs of sister wives, except one thing I think you should emphasize more is one of the main reasons we viewers are so disgusted with Robin. It's the fact that day after day, year after year, Robin never sent Kody back to their home when she would show up on their time. The fact that she never did that and instead let him spend stolen days with her completely negates her laments about wanting sister wives and wanting him to have good relationships with the other wives. If what she said she wanted was true, she would have told him to get out. It's not fair. You need to go spend that wife's day with that wife we see so clearly through the lies. In fact, it's insulting to us viewers that she thinks we buy that hogwash. Does she think we're really all idiots? Another point would be the money distribution. She darn well knew she was getting the lion's share of the money for her home, her paintings, and all of her other shopping. It blows my mind that the other wives didn't scream bloody murder about that. I sure would, and would have been on top of the accounting books constantly to prove my point. There is nothing better to prove favoring one wife over the others than black and white numbers, aka green dollar. Signs once again ski awesome job on your videos and analysis. Well, Paula, thank you so much for this amazing and insightful email, and I just want to state that I'm pretty confident I have covered the fact that Robin was not equitable in her time, nor was she fair in not hoarding the time that she had with Kody. I've also talked a lot about the issues with the money, so when it comes to the money issues, the breakdown in the family actually came down to, for Janelle, one of the reasons she got so over things with Kody was about the money, because when she was trying to get building for her place on Coyote Pass, which has never happened, she was looking over the books and found out that the couple was spending money frivolously on stuff that literally they didn't need, and had the family been saving the money that they should have been saving, they could have paid off the property and gotten started on building, but instead Kody and Robin were using the family bank account or bank pool of money for the as their own, and they weren't considering the needs of anyone else. And apparently I've spoken to a couple people with knowledge of this, knowledge of what happened, and they did confront Kody about this, and that actually ended up being a huge blowout between Kody and Robin, because Robin apparently then threatened that she would leave if he wanted to bite with her about money, she'll leave and take everything that he has, and told him, you can just go be with your other wives then. So she did know that she was taking all the money, and when confronted she got hostile with Kody, and then Kody retreated and basically took Robin's side, because Kody was also spending the money. It wasn't just Robin spending the money. Anyways, so I appreciate all of that, and I do agree that if she would have been fair, she would have been equitable with the time and sent Kody's packing back to their homes, which she never did. There's a lot of ways that we know that she was the favorite wife. Now onto this clip. Janelle and Kody briefly discussed their sex life, and on the tell in the US version, but the UK version, which this comes from the TLC UK YouTube channel, Suki probes them further, and Kody goes in deeper, and it's actually interesting when you lay down with somebody, yeah, right, and it's just completely just two people. It's as raw as it can be. It's the connection, it's the emotional connection, physical connection, and the spiritual connection that happens. You have it with her, right? No, you don't. No, we wouldn't have been there if we would have had it, yeah, but maybe that's